Now on Channel 4, relax for an afternoon at the races as we join Derek Thompson and his news of Lester Piggott.
The Maestro is back. Yes, just a week after that horrible-looking fall at Glorious Goodwood, 58-year-old Lester Piggott is back in the saddle. His return is live today on Channel 4 Racing. Yes, good afternoon and welcome to Newmarket, where it's New Zealand Day. Plenty of variety today. We've got the top 2-year-old fillies running in the Sweet Solera Stakes. Lester Piggott teams up with his old pal, Onatondo, in the big 7-furlong handicap. And we've also got 12 top lady riders, 6 for Britain, 6 for the rest of the world. That should get proceedings off to a good start. But we've already had a race today. This was the Montana Wines Maiden Stakes at 2:10, over a mile and a half. Two interesting runners here were Sea Freedom, who's a full brother to User Friendly, and also Totality, who's a full sister to the great Derby winner of last year, Commander-in-Chief. But the one the punters made favourite was this one. This was Eden Al Habib, number 6, ridden by Richard Hills. Now, he'd beaten one of his rivals today, Golden Ball, when they were 2nd and 3rd in a recent race at Ascot. Before we see what happened, let's call in on JT to see how they bet at the off.
Thank you, Derek. And Ibn Al Habib was the 5-2 favourite. Golden Ball at 7-2, along with Totality. Arctic Courier 10-1. Seabadon 12-1, along with Sea Freedom, and 16-1 Bardos.
So it's Knife Box cutting out the work by about a length and a half. Dari Larry second, the stripe cap on the outside. Ibn Al Habib is showing prominently. Red colours behind him is Seawood. On the inside is Arctic Courier. And it's Knife Boy now being joined and passed by Darila. Up on the outside with a stripe cap is Ibn Al Habib. Arctic Courier is going well behind them. Golden Ball on the outside. Seawood starts to rush forward. Totality is wide of the pack, but starting to cut him down. And Knife Boy drops quickly through the pack, and they're inside the final 3 furlongs now. And Seawood has been left in the lead in the red jacket with the blue cap. Then coming with a run next to the rails, Arctic Courier. Totality on the outside, and the yellow colours, Kyomi, and here comes Golden Ball with a strong rush. They come down towards the 2, and it's Golden Ball that's gone to the lead from Totality the outside. Back in 3rd is Seawood, and then off the pace, starting to stay on nicely, is Sea Freedom. It's uphill to the final furlong, and it's Golden Ball edging into a good lead now of a length through Totality in 2nd, and these are well clear from the back, staying on nicely. Saxon Maid, Totality putting in a big rush to Golden Ball, but Golden Ball has the answers. Totality driving to the line, and at the post, Golden Ball, Totality 1-2. Back in 3rd was Sea Freedom, just in front of Saxon Maid.
Golden Ball getting his act together. Remember, he was 7th in the Derby. He's now on course for the St. Leger, a race his 3 parts brother Sadler's Hall was 2nd in. But there's a steward's inquiry, and this is the reason. We're going to pick it up about 2.5, 3 furlongs out. The one that's highlighted there is Kyomi, and just watch, on the right-hand side, Totality, the full sister to Commander-in-Chief, will shortly just come across, and Golden Ball there as well, 3rd right, and you'll see that the jockey, Chris Rutter, just has to snatch up and stop riding. The stewards have announced their decision. No problems. They considered that the interference was accidental. The result stands. The SP now from JT.
First, number 7, Golden Ball at 7-2. Second, number 13, Totality, 7-2 again. And third, number 9, Sea Freedom, returned at 12-1. Number 6, Ibn Al Habib, was the 5-2 favourite. The tote paid $3.20 for the win. Places 140, 160 and 270. The dual forecast gained to £4.60, and a computer straight forecast 14.85 and 13 ran.
And I was just saying to somebody of a pity if Water Swinburne is never champion jockey. Won the final race here last night by the shortest of margins. Won that one again. There really is top-class jockey in action there on Golden Ball. Well, it was always going to be a survival of the fittest for the winner of the second race here this afternoon. It was the Brooks of Norwich claiming stakes, because the two most fancied horses, Blockade and also Spanish Storm, both of them like to front run. They're both in good form. Blockade won the claimer at Goodwood last Saturday, and earlier this week Spanish Storm just got touched off in the shadow of the post at Brighton. But there was plenty of money for both in the end. It was Mike Bell's Blockade just hacking his way to post there under Mick Fenton, who went off favourite. Let's see how he got on.
Blockade was the 11 to 10 favourite, Spanish Storm 7 to 4, Obsidian Grey a 9 to 1 chance, and St Martha at 14 to 1, Blazing Honda 16 to 1, and Mr Casabon a 40 to 1 outsider.
St Martha wasn't that well away, and as the early trailer, the grey Obsidian Grey is sharing the pace. On the left, Spanish Storm, and on the right is the front-running Blockade, and they go for the first furlong, and running the rail is Blockade that probably just has the edge, with Spanish Storm in those red blinkers nearest to us, split by half the width of the track, and Spanish Storm just has the edge now by about a half. The yellow sleeve jacket, Mr Casabon, showing in third place, Obsidian Grey ahead of Blazing Honda, and St Martha, the slow starter, is the trailer. It's Spanish Storm, though, opening up by a couple of lengths and running his own race. This could well suit him on the extreme left, certainly going fast. Blockade, normally a front runner and twice a winner over a mile here on the right in the red jacket. And these are two clear of Mr Casabon, and it's a Spanish Storm clear by about 3 as they've come past the 3 furlong marker. Blockade in second, and these two are a long way clear of placed horses. St Martha staying on nicely from the back, but it's Spanish Storm who has the edge. Obviously he's in the right mood, and these tactics are coming alone down the centre of the track have suited him. He's clear by a couple of lengths, but Blockade is starting to stride forward. It's uphill to the final furlong, and Spanish Storm, who's a course winner over 7, starting to be worn down by Blockade the far side. They're inside the final furlong now. Spanish Storm only by a length is hanging over for company, and Blockade, the more resolute horse, is sticking his neck out, but as they race up towards the line, Blockade is going to take it. Spanish Storm doesn't want to know. Blockade it is from Spanish Storm. They're a long way clear of St Martha in third, who's in turn in front of Blazing Honda, Obsidian Grey at the back marker, Mr Casabon, but a good win by Blockade.
What a wonderful servant is. He was tubed when he was a 2-year-old. Blockade, been with Mike Bell, and he's staying with Mike Bell as well, because there were no claims for any of those horses, and that win put Mick Fenton on the 30 winner mark along with Jason Tate. They're just one winner behind the leader in the apprentice table, Stephen Davis. Here's the SP.
First number 2 Blockade, the 11 to 10 favourite. Second number 3 Spanish Storm 7 to 4, and third number 4 St Martha returned at 14 to 1. The tape paid £2 for the win. The places 130 and 140. The dual forecast 150, and the CSF 316. 6 round.
So you're now up to date with what's happened so far here at Newmarket. Let's check out what's coming up on Channel 4 this afternoon. The going is good on the straight mile, good to firm on the remainder. We start with the Florrie Morris Memorial. This is the race for the lady jockeys. At 3:45, 10 very useful juvenile fillies turn out in the Owens Orchid Sweet Solera. This is Lester Piggott's first race back. Then at 4:20, the big betting race of the day, the £30,000 Brierley Investments handicap. And we round off with a 6-furlong race, the ANZ Banking Group Maiden Stakes. Well, as you can see, they're cantering down for the first live race, the Florrie Morris Memorial Invitation, and this is named after the widow of Reg Morris, who sponsored this race for so many years. Now, it's Britain against the rest of the world. Let's check out the 6 from the rest of the world, the 6 from Britain, and the 6 from the rest of the world are on the left. Representing Germany, we have Christa German there in the red. Moving along next to her, Gabriella Martin from Austria. In the stripes, Rennie Kierans, who won it last year from Canada. Christy Claggett from America there. Elizabeth Johansson from Norway. And Dot Mullets from Denmark. Representing Britain, Maxine Cowdery, Lucy Hyde, Eve Johnson-Houghton, Joe Winter there, daughter of Fred, Diana Jones, and there on the right, Anthea Farrell. These are the 12. Britain against the rest of the world. They're named by our commentator, Graham Good.
And they make their way down to this Bunbury Mile start then for the Florrie Morris Memorial. And the top weight is Prince Songline, currently 9 to 1. Christy Claggett rides. The Blinkered Lavender Cottage is 20 to 1 with Lucy Hyde. Avish Hayes at 8 to 1 by Rennie Kieran's, and Father Dan 8 to 1 by Krista German. Number 5 is Kalisar, ridden by Elizabeth Johansson, 20 to 1 the odds on offer there. Anorak drawn 12 is a 9 to 1 chance with Joe Winter. Bill Moon at 8 to 1, Maxine Cowdrey. Blue Radiance 12 to 1 by Diana Jones. Indy Rock is ridden by Eve Johnson Horton. They're a 9 to 1 chance. Captain Marmalade 16 to 1 with Gabriella Martin. Wader's Dream 20 to 1 with Daughter Mullets. Wader's Dream is a Visored horse. And the favourite, ridden by Anthea Farrell, is Oozlem, and that's a blinkered runner.
Now let's close up on one of the lady riders in this, in the stripes on the far side, the blue and pink stripes. This is Eve Johnson Houghton. She's daughter of trainer Fulk and secretary to John Hills, and she's riding Indy Rock here for Peter Macon. Now she's a good rider, this girl, because last Saturday, after we came off air, she won here at Newmarket on a horse called Castoret.
And the pink jacket Castoret takes it up from Keen Vision, running the rail on the outside, stalled, and Dawn Flight with a run. But Castoret in the pink colours. Here comes Solartica, the yellow cap on the outside of Stalled, the purple jacket. In behind these, Dawn Flight starts to stay on, but they're inside the final furlong now. Castoret pressed hard by Solartica on the far side, and Stalled is finishing well, but Castoret's going to hold on, or is he? It's going to be very close up towards the line. Castoret is the winner from Solartica second, Stalled is third.
Well, can she do it again, this time on Indy Rock? It's going to be good, this. I like the look of Oozlem, I must say, here, and Anthea Farrell, who, of course, won the race around the Grand National course. John Frankham and John Oaksey, what do you think? Is it going to be Britain or the rest of the world?
Well, I very much like the look of Indy Rock. He's only a maiden. He hasn't won a race, but he's a really nice, tough, compact gelding. And as we saw there, Eve can certainly ride. She's a great niece of Fulk Walwyn. So we've got two descendants of men who've both trained and ridden the Grand National winner, because Fulk both trained and rode the Grand National winner, and so did Fred Winter, of course, whose daughter Jo also rides.
Well, Oozlem is the horse that Derek fancied, and you can quite see why if you have a look through this horse's form, because won quite nicely at Brighton about a week ago, and didn't really come out the stalls all that well, but won with plenty in hand at the end of that, and is obviously just about to come into his best.
Well, the jockeys are really more important than the horses in these races very often, and I don't need to tell you that Maxine Cowdrey is very good indeed. She's ridden about 46, in fact she has ridden 46 winners, and has won the Ascot race, the Great Ascot race, 5 times.
We didn't mention much about Anthea Farrell, who rides Oozlem, of course, and well, she's a very capable rider. Doesn't matter whether it's over fences, hurdles, or whatever.
Only girl who's ever beaten professionals over the big entry fences. This is no mean achievement. News from Mac now.
Well, Anthea Farrell's third ride in this equivalent race. Oozlem is the only horse been seriously backed. From 7 to 2, they're now showing 5 to 2 against Oozlem, and that's with the thumb. It's 8 to 1 bar Bill Moon. 7th ride in the race for Maxine Cowdrey, and it was third last year when favourite Bill Moon is now an 8 to 1 chance. 9 to 1 bar the 2. A couple of rags, a bit of money for Lavender Cottage, 25 to 1 into 20 to 1, and number 5 Kalisar, 25 to 1 into 100 to 6, 16 to 1. But the horse for money, there's only one here. That's Oozlem for Anthea Farrell.
Oh, great opportunity for a lot of these girls to come here and ride. Plenty of experience for many of them, and quite a few of them have been in America recently. Jo Winter, who rides here, rode a winner out there.
She's been riding out for Michael Dickinson over there, and Christy Claggett, of course, comes from America, and she owns her own racing farm called Larking Hill. She's ridden 9 winners and been in a lot of these for gentry races. Krista German, she is one of the few ladies in Germany who rides over jumps against professionals. And There on number 5 is Elizabeth Johansson from Norway. She's ridden 14 winners, and her hobbies are horses and football. And as number 6 and Joe Winter go in. There you are, Graham.
So the top lady amateur riders in the world completing for this the Florrie Morris Memorial Invitation Race, and the way they go. Pretty good level break. Anorak in the yellow colours on the left is certainly sharing it with the blue Wader's Dream. Indy Rock, and on the extreme right going fast Lavender Cottage, and Kalisar is certainly with the pace too. Looks quite a good pace. Bill Moon running the rail, taking quite a keen hold for Maxine Cowdrey, second from the right as we look at them. But coming down the centre of the track, it's Wader's Dream. Wader's Dream, the blue jacket leading. Then Prince Songline racing prominently, and they're edging over to the far side. Anorak showing third. Kalisar is racing in the fourth spot. Ouslam in the pale jacket is wide, and from this camera angle is the one on the left with the blinkers. Just off the pace, Captain Marmalade. Avish Hayes tries to go forward. Then behind these comes Blue Radiance, and farther down in the red jacket off the pace. But it's still Wader's Dream that has it, from Prince Songline looking to the right. In the yellow and red on the left, that's Anorak, and these two just ahead of Ouslam. Then these are followed through by Father Dan, with Lavender Cottage running the rail. From the back, Blue Radiance tries to pick up, and also Bill Moon tries to come with the room. Avish Hayes on the extreme left. They've got 2.5 furlongs to go, and it's Ouslam in the red colours, Father Dan, and Krista German comes through to take up the running now. Further left, Indy Rock's going well with the pink cap, and they've got just over a furlong to go, and in the red colours, Father Dan's gone clear. Here comes Indy Rock, and further left in the right bright pink cap is Avish Hayes. Captain Marmalade starts to stride forward. They're inside the final furlong now, and it's Father Dan in the lead, but here comes Avish Hayes, the stand side, and Captain Marmalade. It's going to be a battle as they race up towards the line. Avish Hayes is going to just take it at the post. Oh, this is a bit cheeky. Avish Hayes from Father Dan. Back in third, Captain Marmalade, a long way clear of Ouslam and Indy Rock. Then came Anorak, followed by Prince Songline and Kalisar. A big gap to Blue Radiance. The field trailed back to Lavender Cottage, who was last of all. And the outcome of this, the Florrie Morris Invitational, officially it's a photo between number 3 Avish Hayes in the colours of Mr. P. Davison Brown, trained at Saltburn by Mary Reevely, and ridden by the most competent Canadian jockey Rennie Kierans on this 8-1 winner. Put him in front on the line. I mean, 3 strides back in the red colours of horse number 4 Father Dan, and Krista German, who's ridden some 42 winners. Looked as if they were going to collect for Gay Kellaway, but it was Avish Hayes who put it, whose nose was put in front virtually on the line. Back in third place the horse number 10 Captain Marmalade, ridden by Gabriella Martin. Well, a convincing, resounding victory by the foreign contingent, because the Canadian jockey Rennie Kierans on the left there gave Avish Hayes 1 or 2 quick taps on the tail, but he's certainly responded well, and this grand old 7-year-old is completing quite a day for Mary Reevely, in front on the line, but that's where it matters. Quite a number of leaders in this race, and they really did go quite a strong pace. All credit though to Avish Hayes, and quite a triumph for this both lady trainers and lady riders, of course, in this Florrie Morris Memorial Invitation Stakes. So there is Avish Hayes and Rennie Kierans. Well pleased with a day's work, as well she might well be.
And Rennie Kierans coming back there, her second ride in the race, and she's unbeaten in it. Won it last year on Shining Jewel at 11-2. Here Avish Hayes returned, the 8-1 joint second favourite of 2. 8-1 Avish Hayes, and what a superb ride she gave that. The runner-up, Father Dan, also returned at 8-1. The third looks to be Captain Marmalade, a 16-1 chance. Ouslam was sent off, the 5-2 favourite Ouslam. But the crowd round here, really, they see jockeyship all the time. But among these amateur ladies, you see few better rides, any horse given than that. That Avish Hayes, back to the end from 9-1 down to 8-1.
Yes, it's a triumph for the visitors from abroad. All first 3 places, and a second victory in 2 visits for Rennie Kierans. Well done. A tremendous performance, and she looks pretty happy about it. Renee owns and trains her own horses at Woodbine, the great Canadian course. She's this is her fifth winner she's ridden. As we've said several times, this race last year was one of them.
I was talking to her earlier, John, and she was complaining that she was down as being 34 years old in the race card. In fact, she's only 32. She looks about 22. I can assure you. So
I thought how brave of her to admit it.
A grave injustice. Yes, could have fooled us all. Very cool piece of riding indeed. Let's have a look at the other two. Let's have a look at Krista German, probably one of the most experienced, who rose Father Dan. Looked to have the race at his mercy there when he went to the front of Furlong. If you back Father Dan, I think you're already halfway out the door and on the way down to the bookmakers to collect. But it was this horse that we're looking at, Abishay's, yet another winner for Mary Reevely, who collared him on the post.
It's his 6th win, 39 runs and 6 victories. 7 years old, Abishay's. Well, and there we are. At this moment, Father Dan is booming past Ouslam and Anorak. Ouslam with the blinkers in the middle of the front three, and Anorak with a white noseband hanging over towards the far rails. As John said, Father Dan, at that stage, you would have been perfectly happy if you'd backed him. He appears to be running on, but now, look on the left of your picture, that pink hat, that is Miss Cairns, and golly, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, really just keeping hold of Abishay's head, and there's a fairly steep gradient running up to the post from here, and Avichay just swishing his tail a little bit, said got this thing under control here, and just really very cheeky indeed done a Richard Quinn on Crusoe Cymru.
First number 3, Avichay, is at 8-1. Second number 4, Father Dan, another 8-1 chance. And the third horse, number 10, Captain Marmalade, returned at 16-1. The favourite was number 12, Ouslam, at 5-2, and 12 ran. And at Haydock in the 2 o'clock, the winner here, number 3, Solomon's Dancer, 9-1. Second number 2, Wings Co, 6-1. And third number 9, Tethys, at 20-1. Number 6, Iron Gent, was the 11-10 favourite, 9 ran. The 2:30 won by number 8, Bear Venture, at 12-1. Second number 13, Gondo, 13-2. And third number 4, All Through the Night, at 9-1. Number 1, Gorinsky, was 7-2 favourite. Non-runner 7, 12 ran. And the 3 o'clock, the Rose of Lancaster Stakes, was won by number 5, Urgent Request, at 8-1. Second number 2, Cezanne, 9-4 favourite. And third number 11, Lou Hook, 4-1. Non-runner 8, 12 ran. Redcar, the 2:15, first number 7, Bayou, at 9-1. Second number 10, Mockite, 7-1. And third number 1, Panther, 3-1. Number 2, Winter Scout, was 9-4 favourite, 13 ran. The 2:45 went to number 2, Sweet Mignonette, 5-2 favourite. Second number 1, Ephisia, 4-1. And third number 3, Tansy, at 7-2, 5 ran. Air, the 2:35, first number 3, 8 Sharp, at 9-4. Second number 1, Adar, the 11-10 on favourite. And third number 5, Secret Service, 33-1, 8 ran. And the 3:05 went to number 1, It's So Easy, at 6-1. Second number 7, Buckley Boys, 5-1. And third number 9, Portite Sophie, at 10-1. Number 2, I Can Spell, at 5-2 as the favourite, and 9 ran.
Here's the happiest girl here at Newmarket today, Rennie Cairns. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Is that 2 rides, 2 wins at Newmarket?
That's right, 100%.
That's better than Lester Piggott, Pat Edry, and everybody.
It's great. I love this place.
It's fantastic. And you timed that absolutely to perfection. Was it that good, or did you give it everything you got and you were just looking to get there? What was it?
I did a lot of talking to him, actually. They said if they think he's running off, he'll probably run well. So I told him, Harry, run off with me. Harry, come on, run off. And he just got there. That's great. He ran a very big race.
And you knew you'd won it on the line?
Yes, I did.
You did. It's lovely to come over here. Take us back to Canada. What do you do over there?
I train. I have a horse of my own, and I gallop freelance for other people, and I pony in the afternoon at the races.
When you say pony, that means you lead the...
Lead pony. In North America, we lead the thoroughbred to the starting gate. We help them warm up. So that's what I do in the afternoon for the races.
Do you ride thoroughbreds or quarter horses or everything of that?
Thoroughbreds. Thoroughbreds and ponies.
And ponies,
Yep.
yeah. What sort of chances are there for women jockeys in Canada?
If you're good enough, they'll compare you to the boys, but it's a lot harder to prove yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you come over here? Is this paid for? Do you have to pay yourself or what?
I paid part of it. Our Amateur Riding Club of the Americas, they paid a portion, and I found sponsorship as well to help pay the cost to come over.
It's pretty expensive business, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But when you win...
It feels great. It's all worth it, every penny.
See you here in 12 months' time.
Definitely.
You're on. She's going for the hat-trick. Well done, Reddy.
Thank you very much.
Smashing here in the winner's enclosure. Picture puzzle. We have news of the picture puzzle. Here it is. Now, if you missed it earlier today, here it is. Work it out. 089 199 1144. If you can work out the name of that horse that's running somewhere today, you could win one of the 3 first prize of £100, and we'll announce the 3 lucky winners live on Channel 4 Racing this afternoon. Plenty of action still to come. Stay with us.
This summer, Ford has 3 Escort specials, all at the same price. Which is right for you? Number 2, the Escort Sapphire, has a mobile phone with free connection and 12 months line rental, central double locking, alarm, sunroof, and driver's airbag and safeguard engine immobilizer. And all for £9,995. For details, call 0800 111 222. The Escort Sapphire, now with £500 cashback.
To help you and your dentist keep your teeth healthy for life, Oral-B introduces the Advantage. Its power tip gets behind your back teeth, and along with its action cup removes more plaque than any traditional toothbrush. The new Advantage from Oral-B. There is no better toothbrush.
When I played for England, I never settled for second best, so shredded wheat was my kind of cereal. Nowadays, my needs have changed, but my standards haven't. I still want bran fibre, no added salt or sugar, and 100% whole wheat. So it's got to be shredded wheat.
Now that's my kind of delivery.
Nestle, shredded wheat and bite size too.
There is no better cereal.
National savings don't pay commission to middlemen, so no one takes a cut from your money or bites from your assets. We don't hit you with any hidden charges. We do, however, have the investment guide to help you through the financial jungle. Snap up your free copy. Call free on 0500 500 000. The National Savings Investment Guide. Security has never been so interesting.
Oh. Imagine adhesives so strong they help hold together 100 tons of soaring aircraft. Imagine a fabric so bright it lets you see an accident in time to prevent it. Imagine a single disc so powerful it can store almost anything imaginable and protect it for a lifetime. These products and thousands more that make our lives better exist because the people at 3M imagine.
Please call 0345 315 315 now to make a donation. You can help the British Red Cross save lives.
Sorry, Frank. Food's gone off.
Replace your old fridge with a new Zanussi fridge freezer. Its unique cool check feature tells you when your food is stored safely. Zanussi, the appliance of science.
New white cobble rolls, raised the Hovis way.
Oh, won't you stay just a little bit longer? Oh, won't you stay?
Now there's a cream that helps you stay in the sun just a little bit longer.
Ah, heck. You can stay here as long as you like, Chuck.
Hey, Vera. You fancy a top-up, love? Eh?
Ooh, not half. And give us another rub down with that chip fan.
Boddington's, the cream of Manchester.
Right, welcome back. We're fairly well up to speed with what's going on here at the moment, so time to take a look back at the final race here last night, and it was the Cars Win Maiden Stakes. 11 runners, 8 of those were actually trained here at headquarters. 6 of them were making their debut, and of those it was Michael Stout's filly, and she was called In Camera. Very well related. She was the one of the debutants that was most fancied. But in the end, the money was going for Wakeel, who'd had a couple of runs here for Alex Scott, and also the Henry Cecil's trained Never Ending. In the end, it was Henry's filly who went off favourite. Here's what happened.
And it's Wakeel, the light blue cap, leading the hoops colours of Silver Sleeve. Further left is the favourite Never Ending, and the green and white striped sleeves. Off the pace In Camera starts to pick up, but it's Wakeel going on now. They come inside the final quarter mile, and Wakeel, the blue colours. Here comes the favourite Never Ending on the left to come and join issue. From the back, In Camera, the white sleeve jacket staying on nicely. Silver Sleeve in the hoops, and behind the Snowy Petrel. But it's going to be Never Ending now that comes to take Wakeel as they race inside the final furlong, with Never Ending and Willie Ryan in the lead. Wakeel on the far side is starting to dig deep, but it's Never Ending nearest to us. Wakeel, the light blue cap. In Camera back in third, and Wakeel is going to take it again. At the line, Wakeel is the winner. Never Ending second. In Camera rashes through to be third.
Wow, what a great finish there. Wakeel just getting up from Never Ending, and Michael Stout's filly In Camera running on to take third spot. And, well, if you've got the VT on, then that's a race to go back and look at it a few times. It was over 7 furlongs, and there were 2 or 3 horses in there I'm sure will be winning before too long. Well, let's have a look at the SP.
Redcar, the 320, first number 4, Pride of Pendle, 17-2. Second number 2, Ever So Lyrical, 13-2. And third number 1, Parliament Peace, at 10-1. Number 12, Coureur, was the 11-4 favourite, and 14 ran. And the full SP at Newmarket in the 315. First number 3, Avichet, is 8-1. Second number 4, Father Dan, 8-1 again. Third number 10, Captain Marmalade at 16-1. 12, Ouslam, the 5-2 favourite. And the tote returns win £11 exactly. Places 280, 190 and £3 exactly. The dual forecast £30 exactly. The CSF 63.22 and the TriCast £892 and 3pence and 12 rand.
Well, bookmakers certainly in front of the morning activity. Iron Gent and Glatisol, the best backed horse in the offices, really turned over at Haydock. And at first at Haydock, Wins Cove, the runner-up, is still a 20-1 chance with Hills for the Tote Ebor. They go at York, and we're covering that on Channel 4 the week after next. Blazing Spectacle, and hasten to add the 7-1 joint favourites, 8-1 Admiral's Well, and 9-1 against Midnight Legend, 10-1 Quick Ransom. Cracking Ebor, that looks like being. Give you the news later on this afternoon in the 4:15. Number 5, Face North, made the 5-2 favourite, with a better back to be number 13, Belfry Green. It's now a 6-1 chance from 9-1, and number 14, Daring Destiny, 11-1 from 16-1, and he's trained by Carl Burke. And in the 7:30 at Wolverhampton tonight, he's got number 7, Charlie's Dream, and there's some fancy each-way doubles going about, Daring Destiny and Charlie's Dream, and also back there, the bottom one, 4 Waran, Victor Chandler later £3,000 each way at 16-1. And in the 4:50, number 1, Alanis, we checked out with Clive Britton on the morning line, where the horse was all right. It had injured its knee before the free handicap. Clive was very confident, as he told us then, expects it to win and then go for the Hungerford Stakes, a Group 3 race at Newbury in a week's time. Made the 5-4 favourite now. That's the price against Alanis, a maiden, the last race on Channel 4. Very unusual, and it's 5-1 bar there, but they're expecting Alanis. A lot of money will be going on that to get punters out of trouble, as some of them are in here. And looking now at this early show here, it's 9-4 against Femme Savant. That's number 4. Money for Painted Madam, number 8, from 7-1 into 11-2. Painted Madam, and Dural, who was back to 12-1, is now a 7-1 chance. Each way support for Dural this morning. Good money going around, but they're waiting for this Alanis already at wrist. 5-4. Clive Britton says it's all right. It had better be.
We've just come paddock side, having a look at the runners in the Sweet Stellaris. Some nice fillies in this. And just thinking about sponsorship, you know, sponsorship of racing. Lots of companies do it at different race courses around Britain. Of course, sponsoring at Newmarket is always a major sponsor for any company. And a new company that's going to get involved at the October meeting is Asco Appliances, who make, would you believe, washing machines. Now, what have washing machines got to do with racing? Well, the MD is John Graham. John, as the jockeys come in, I mean, why? Hi, hang on, there's a guy called Lester Piggott coming in. And that's the reason for the cheers. John, why?
I thought it was for me. Well, apart from my own interest in racing, I think it's a superb way of entertaining guests. In terms of sponsorship, I think there's all sorts of things done, but not many things work with ladies and gentlemen together, husbands and wives. And from my experience, having sponsored previously, the ladies, probably never been racing before, thoroughly enjoy it and can't wait to come again.
But you have advisors who would say to you, now we can have an advert on the television, advert in a paper or on the radio. Would that get more recognition for your company, or is racing superior in that?
I think one advert to anyone is a complete waste of money. You know, you have to do a whole series, and I think to do that would cost far more than we will put into Newmarket in October, although that amount of money is not unsubstantial.
And I believe that the winning connections are receiving your appliances.
Everyone gets something, the winning owner, the winning trainers, the winning jockeys in all 3 races.
So you can win a washing machine, literally.
Washing machines, dishwashers, tumble dryers.
Yeah.
We have a compact dishwasher for the jockeys.
Yeah, that sounds good.
One, yeah.
And how much are you going to put into the race and how much you put in the entertaining?
The total sponsorship is 40,000 for the meeting, and the entertaining, I don't know, I'll count the bills when we finish.
But you'll have a good time.
I shall have a good time.
And if you've got somebody like Lester Piggott riding in the race, I mean, it'd be brilliant.
That would make the day, I think, for everybody.
It is incredible. John, thank you very much indeed for talking to us about sponsorship, racing anywhere in the country. And there he is. There's the long fella back in the saddle for the first time on a race course since his horrible-looking fall at Glorious Goodwood, where his helmet came off. And, well, it's good to see him back, 58 years of age. And there's a big crowd here around the ring just waiting for him to come round. And here he comes, good old Lester. And I tell you what, he's got a very respectable chance here on the Jotter. He's got some nice rides later on. And when he walked in, everybody gave him a big cheer, and there was a smile on his face as well. Good luck, Lester. Hope you have a good ride. Right, let's get the runners and riders for the Owens Orchid Sweet Solera Stakes, named after that classic winner of the 60s. All our winners, bar the newcomer, GG.
And Subia is a 7-to-1 chance ridden by Tony McGlone. Dom won 14-to-1 with Gary Carter. Watch the Clock 10-to-1 with George Duffield. And Font Savant, the 9-to-4 favourite, is ridden by Pat Edery. Jamila, who's wearing a white cap, is ridden by Wendell Woods. Well, Wendell's wearing the white cap, 6-to-1 the odds on offer. Durell is ridden by Philip Robinson, and that wears the first colours of Sheikh Mohammed, and they're 7-to-1. Opera Lover is a 10-to-1 chance. Walter Swinburne wears a white cap. Painted Madam 11-to-2 Richard Hills. Rupiana 25-to-1 Brent Thompson. And the Jotter 8-to-1 chances each way with Lester Piggott.
Now then, this is one of the leading contenders. This is number 5, Jumilla, carrying the white cap, second colours of Sheikh Mohammed, trained here at Newmarket by Jeff Ragg, ridden by Wendell Woods, who for many years was one of the top riders in Hong Kong. Now, she got turned over in a close finish at Thirsk last week, but before that looked a very nice filly indeed when winning here at the July meeting in a race that's produced a number of subsequent winners.
Jumilla the favourite with the noseband on the left of the leading four, quite a bit to do, but starting to go forward now, come down to the final furlong, and Shady Deed running the rail on the far side. Here comes Jumilla under Mick Kinane, and these have gone 3 clear now. Vitab in third, and then Prima Camellia and Lucky Coin as they race up towards the line. It's the battle here between Jumilla nearest to us, who's going into the lead and wins that battle to take the race. Jumilla takes it from Shady Deed.
There he is, about to go down for his return. Well, there's been a lot said and written since Lester's fall at Goodwood, but I think the most sensible thing that's been said about his retirement or possible retirement is that the only person to make a decision about it is L. Piggott. He's always made up his own mind, and I'm sure he will about this. What do you think, John?
I couldn't agree more with you. And just look at him going down there. I thought the saddle might have just gone up her neck a little bit. You can see Lester's just looking down there, and she's not pulling too hard. She's just got the tug down there behind Jumilla. But as I said, he was just having the odd look down, and certainly seemed to be sitting a lot further up her neck than you would think would be comfortable.
There's definitely something slightly wrong, heavens. It would be cruel luck if that
you can just see there he's sitting just about 3 inches further. Well, the saddle's definitely just gone over her withers, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't just give a shout there to Wendell Woods, ask him to just pull up. Anyway, luckily she's behaving herself, the jotter. Got a good pair of hands, of course. Lester just keeping her settled in there. And let's hope that they get down to the start okay. Having one accident with the saddle slipping off Coffee and Cream, be more than ironic if the saddle slips on the way to the post.
It's there's no sign at the moment, touch wood, of it coming off the straight, so to speak, slipping round rather than forward. It has definitely slipped forward. There's not much of it, is there?
Well, you can see it's perfect for anybody who's never put a saddle on a horse in their lives. You can just see where the back of the saddle, or the cantle as it is, I mean, that saddle wouldn't weigh more than 2 or 3 pounds at the most. It should be 4 inches further back, and the back should be sitting flat just along the ridge of the horse's back.
That would be an elastic girth, John, would it?
I would imagine it's an elasticated girth. It's something that has come into fashion in the last 5 or 6 years, really. More for the horse's comfort than anything. Personally, I've never been a great fan of totally elasticated girths. You can get some which are just webbing and elastic on the last 6 inches. You can see Lester just getting off to get one of the stall handlers to hold her while they put that saddle back a few inches. Won't take a moment for that to happen. Really good sort, the jotter. Very well made. I always think she was a little bit more cut in the ground, but she's been very consistent. She's more experienced than most of these. She won a little race up at Carlisle, but she's run some very game races in defeat. Ran a good second to Lovely Millie here. Over 6 furlongs. Pat Edry had the mount on her. Let's have a look at that. And here she is. Here she is. She's in front at this particular point. And Lovely Millie just about to come out of the pack and collar. But you can see she doesn't look totally happy. The ground really fast there. And it just looks as though she's just tying it. She's a brave filly, the jotter. There's no doubt about that. But as I said, I just feel that she's much better when there's just a little bit of cut in the ground.
But there, as in all her races, she kept running really to the end, trying her heart out. I think it'll be jolly, really disappointing if she doesn't finish in the shake-up with Lester today.
She's one of the few I think who make up into a nice 3-year-old. John's got lots of scope about her.
Yes, the newcomer Opera Lover is a beautiful filly, isn't she?
She is a good sort. I think there's a lot of raggy-looking horses, if you like, and the newcomer Opera Lover wouldn't have to be too special to take a hand in the finish here. But let's have a look at Dural now. One of 2 Sheikh Mohammed runners in this race, and she's trained by Mark Johnston, who's done well with the horses that he's had for Sheikh Mohammed. Hasn't had many, but they've certainly done well. And Dural, 1 run. She's by Chris. She's had 1 run and 1 win over this distance up at Ayr, and she showed a good temperament to carry on and win that race. She's bound to come on for the run, but she's not got the most size, and well, I suppose there's a limited amount of improvement in her. Femme Savant, she's probably going to start favourite. She ran a smashing race in the Newbury Sales Super Sprint last time. Just got touched off by Brief Glimpse. There was a fair distance back to the 3rd horse. That was over 5 furlongs. Prior to that, she'd won over 6 furlongs at Windsor. The 3 horses behind her have all come out and won since. She always looked as though 7 furlongs would suit her. The only thing that would put you off slightly is the fact that Richard Hannon's horses just not really firing at the moment. They all look well and they've sort of been running all right, but would just be a slight reservation, John.
Yes, well, you'd have to doubt about that. Let's hear from Mac how she's going in the betting.
Well, they've taken the 5-2 Femme Savant. She's into 9-4 favourite, and 5 favourites and 15 runnings have won the Sweet Solera. But far the best backed horse in the race is this number 6 Dural, who was 12-1 in the offices this morning, 8-1 on the course, is now a 6-1 chance. Lots of each-way bets for Mark Johnston's filly. Painted Madam also well supported, 7-1 into 5-1. Jamila's an 11-2 chance. It has been 6-1, and 2 I don't think are going to win. Opera Lover is out from 7-1 to 12-1 for Michael Stout, and only one horse, first time out, has ever won this in 15 runnings. That was Dance Machine 10 years ago. I don't think Opera Lover is going to make it number 2. And Piggott's horse, the Jotter, is out from 7 to 1 to 12 to 1. But good money, Dural and Painted Madam against his favourite, Femme Savant, top of the head, 9 to 4.
Number 5, June Miller, is a really tough-looking El Gran Senor filly who cost her $200,000 and has already looked worth it, really. She won her maiden here, beating Shady Deed, and then was only just beaten the next time at Thirsk. She's a nice filly, isn't she?
Yeah, she's quite lengthy, got a little bit of scope about her, and will obviously, well, one would have thought, appreciate this 7 furlongs. I thought Thirsk was probably just a little bit too easy for her. Mick Cannan rode her when she won here last time. Wendell Woods with a ride on her this afternoon. Another filly that I liked particularly watching them walk around is Brian Riley, just holding Jamila, ex-jump jockey, now starter. But Dom 1 was certainly one I liked, but the eye catcher for John Oaksey rather, he went for Jamila. In the paddock, going down to post, it was Opera Lover who caught Graham's eye, and it was Dural who they were going for in the ring. And funny enough, no friends for Opera Lover, but she really, I must admit, she caught my eye in the paddock. Well, Subia has got an excellent chance the way she's been running. She won her last race at Sandown, had Miasma, Queen Fisher, who ran a smashing race at Goodwood last week behind Eltish, and Watch the Clock further behind. Watch the Clock might just have a little bit more improvement in her. She's a much bigger filly, a horse of David Loder's, but Subia very consistent. Well, fairly open race this, I'd say, certainly from looking at them in the paddock. Let's get a betting show.
And Femme Savant is the 9 to 4 favourite, back from 5 to 2. Painted Madam is 5 to 1 from 11 to 2, and Jumilla steady on the 6 to 1 mark. Dural another 6 to 1 chance, this time from 7. Subai is at 7 to 1, and the Jotter is now 10 to 1, opened at 8. Opera Lover also on 10s, Watch the Clock on 12s. Dom 1 a 16 to 1 shot, and Rupiana the outsider 25 to 1.
Lester just getting back onto the Jotter, whose saddle has no doubt been readjusted, and let's hope it'll stay in place.
Yeah, it might have just pulled up over her wither just as they came out of the paddock. She took a little bit of a keen tug on the way to the start there. Shouldn't happen in the race. I doubt whether she'll be pulling too hard for the first furlong. They're sure to go a good clip. In fact, she likes to just bowl along herself, this filly. Lester pleased to get back into action, I should think, this afternoon. I believe he's off to Germany tomorrow to ride Sharp Prod for the Queen. Really nice shot there of the Jotter. Got a smashing head. That's Dural just weaving her way into the picture there. Philip Robinson doing really well since he's been back over here.
That's Opera Lover in the white cap of the second Cheveley Park colours.
It's got a fair line, John, Michael State. He's got some lovely 2-year-old fillies this year. I mean, I can't believe that he's entered her without her being able to do herself credit.
No, you're probably right. All I can say is that you certainly think she would improve from this, but if she can win it, she might improve into something very good indeed.
I just think that the others look, you know, reasonably moderate. There's a couple that might improve a little bit, and I'd be disappointed if she certainly can't take a close hand in the finish. Painted Madam, almost the last to go in. Just Jumilla. Let's join Graham.
Jamila a white cap, Opera Lover a white cap, and just an experienced Opera Lover. She was a little bit slow to go, 3 from the right of the picture, Lester second from the right on the Jotter, and the early pace being shared by Jamila, and on the left Femme Savant, and Subia and Dom 1 second from the right, and the Jotter on the extreme right, and they're through the first furlong now. And it's the Jotter and Subia who share the pace. A length behind these is Femme Savant, the black sleeve jacket. On the far side, the black jacket, that's Dom 1. Then Jamila, followed through by Dural and Painted Madam. With the blue cap, Watch the Clock, looking at the left of the picture now, the yellow and blue Rupiana, white cap out the back is Opera Lover, and they're through the first quarter mile. And it's the Jotter. by 3 parts of the length to Subia in second. Dom 1 runs through the rail, through on the inside rail. Then comes Farm Savant, followed through by Jamila. Dural nearest to us being asked to stretch. Painted Madam behind these, and they come down past the 3 furlong marker, and it's Subia wide of the Jotter, who still share the pace. Farm Savant, Dural on the outside, starting to close. Then comes Dom 1. Watch the clock. Second from the left, on the extreme left is Rupiana, but still the Jotter, Subia and Farm Savant. Here comes Dural in the white sleeve jacket, 4 wide. On the left, the horse with the noseband is Watch the Clock, but it's the Jotter that has it. They're inside the final furlong. Farm Savant is after her. It's the Jotter the far side, make most to Farm Savant. Then comes Dural, and the Jotter still has it as they race up towards the line, and the Jotter's going to take it up. Dural's finishing very fast at the line. A photo. Very close call, the Jotter and Dural, and also a close call for third between Watch the Clock and Dom 1. Well, this the Owens Orchid Sweet Solera Stakes over 7 furlongs. Let's check the evidence as they go past the line. And but nearest to us, Lester, he's looking across. He sees number 6 Dural sharing a photo as they race past the line. Third horse home there for me is Watch the Clock. It's a desperately close call. Lester's looking across, seeing Dural. Let's look from our spy in the sky down. Well, the judge is calling a photo to the outcome of this race. Lester's looking across, he's looking back a bit on the Jotter. By gum, what a shot there will be if she has won. Don't take anything away from Dural, though, the relatively inexperienced filly who won at Ayr first time out, sent down from the Middleham by Mark Johnson, ridden by Philip Robinson. This determined finish for the homebred Dural, who last time out beat Dunwell. We saw Dunwell win here last week. Dunwell goes off to Deauville later next week, but nearest to us, the Jotter, Lester Piggott. What a brilliant ride he's given this horse. Win, lose or draw, looking across. Dural's forced the photo, though. Dural has forced the photo. I wonder how they bet in the ring with Big McCrick between the Jotter and Dural. They're both relatively outsiders in terms that Farm Savant, the favourite, never really got in it. I wonder which the ring thinks has won. This is close. This is very close.
It certainly is, GG. You can bet 2 to 1 on the Jotter and 2 to 1 on Dural. So take your pick of them. I'll give you the starting price. The Jotter and Piggott to return to 10 to 1. Dural, the best backed horse in the morning, is a 6 to 1 chance. They've had 12 and 10 to 1 that, 8 to 1 on the course. The third, Watch the Clock, is sent off at 12 to 1. Femme Savant was the 9 to 4 favourite, and they're asking for 2 to 1 on Take Your Pick. Who do you think's win? Dural is that one, or is the Jotter one, or is it a dead heat? I can see here called 2 to 1, a dead heat. Anything could have won. The Jotter, some punters are calling. Who do you think's won, Jotter or Dural? Dural, Jotter. There's the great Mitsubishi screen behind me. All the punters have seen it. They've not heard GG, but let's have the picture up once again. See my powers here. On the screen, there it is. On the screen, you can see for yourself. Nearest to us is the Jotter. The far side is Dural. It is desperately close. It's 2 to 1 on each of 2. The Dural returned to 6 to 1, and the Jotter at 10. Has Lester Piggott come back with a winner?
Well, there didn't look to be too much wrong with the old boy, did there? He rode with all his old confidence. I'm half stopping talking, partly because I want to listen to the applause, and partly because I'm listening for the results.
Yes, he might not be the force he was physically, but mentally, certainly every bit as good as he ever was. And let's not forget the other jockey in the photo finish, Philip Robinson. Very strong, took a long time getting this horse wound up. Finally, she began responding for him. Anthony Stroud, Sheikh Mohammed's racing manager. Leicester's gone into second spot there with Willie Jarvis. Well, certainly he was close. He was closer than anybody to tell.
I think it's quite his habit.
He's been across that winning line many times before.
I don't think the fact that he's gone into second place is significant, really. It's partly habit, partly superstition, perhaps. I don't think it means he knows he's been beaten.
Well, whatever, it was a tremendous race, and Woody Jarvis certainly, and Lester just getting his helmet unclipped there. If you remember, his helmet fell off at Goodwood.
That was a very interesting moment, because evidently Lester had taken special pains today that his helmet would not come off. And something, I don't know what he'd done to the clip, but it was something which meant that he needed assistance to get it off. And how sensible of him. The new helmets, in fact, are going to have plastic clips, which are, allegedly at any rate, the manufacturers say that they will not be able to be jarred off by falls, and certainly hope so.
Well, we can have a look at the closing stages of this race again. Quite a few of them close up together, and the Jotter have made every yard of the running over there on the far side. Supea, Tony McGlone on her right, on her outside, Femme Savant, and as they meet the rising ground, she's probably the first to come under pressure, Femme Savant of the quartet. Jural coming on the outside, and then Jamila still just with a length to make up. Just have a look at Dom 1 in behind, because she was one of the first ones to always bowl along there in the first 2 or 3. There's no doubt that she's a filly who's going to need a mile, or certainly a stiffer test than this. But the Jotter and Lester just had a slight peek behind him to see where the opposition was coming from. Sent his Pat Eddery and Femme Savant on his tail there, and then just one across from there is the Avenger horse, who's Avenger filly, who's involved in the photo finish. This is Jural and Philip Robinson, and from that you'd have to say that maybe Jural's just got there by a whisker. But if Graham Good can't pull him out, I'm certainly not going to attempt it.
Well, Victor Chandler, one of the biggest rails layers, he believes the Jotter has won, and he's asking for 11 to 10 on Jural. But when the picture went up on the Mitsubishi screen, the bookmakers gasped, because they reckon that looking at the screen there as we saw it in the slow motion, that Jural may well have got it. But at the moment, it's 11 to 10 on. You can bet the Jotter on your screen. There it is. The Jotter nearest to us, the far side Jural, and it looks as though Watch the Clock is third. That's a 12 to 1 chance. But looking at the slow motion, could Victor Chandler be wrong? Here's the result. Here it comes in now.
First, number 6.
Jural wins the races. Jural wins. The Jotter is second, and Watch the Clock is third.
4.
Victor Chandler got it wrong. Jural wins. Lands quite a touch. Back down to 6 to 1 Jural. The Jotter second at 10 to 1. Watch the Clock is third at 12 to 1. Femme Savant, the 9 to 4 favourite. After the race was run, and you've seen it on the big screen, you've seen it on your televisions, you can still have backed Jural. She's won now, 6 to 1. The bookies don't always get it right.
First, number 6, Jural at 6 to 1. Second, number 10, the Jotter, 10 to 1. And third, number 3, Watch the Clock, returned at 12 to 1. Number 4, Femme Savanti, was the 9 to 4 favourite, and 10 ran. And at Haydock, the 3:30 went to number 5, 1,000,000 to 1, the 11 to 10 on favourite. Second, number 9, Tarn Lane, 25 to 1. And third, number 6, Hanging Judge, 7 to 1. Number runner 10, 9 ran. Air, the 3:35, first number 3, Tyler, 11 to 4. Second, number 1, Manful, 3 to 1. And third, number 2, Sub-Zero, the 11 to 8 on favourite, 3 ran.
Well, that was an incredible race there. I actually tipped Jural, but I find myself shouting for Lester. And I think everybody was hoping in their hearts that the photograph would announce that number 10, Lester Piggott, had done it on the Jotter. But remember, he does partner on Attendant in the next race. Now, for the presentation for Jural's success in the Owens Orchid Sweet Solera.
Well, so nearly the fairy tale comeback for the Maestro, ladies and gentlemen, but what a great rider Philip Robinson has given Jural to win one of our feature races here on New Zealand Day, the Owens Orchid Sweet Solera Stakes, and we're indebted to the Owens Group of New Zealand for their very generous support, and delighted to welcome Mr. and Mrs. Bob Owens. Bob is the life president of the Owens Group, and of course the man who inaugurated the New Zealand Day meeting here on the July course back in 1978. We're now very pleased to ask Jimena to make the presentation of this antique silver sugar basket. It's going to be received by the racing manager to Sheikh Mohammed, Mr. Anthony Stroud, ladies and gentlemen.
And there is the official photo, and you can just see that the nostril of Dural is just in front of the Jota and Lester Piggott on the far side. The background is, of course, a mirror, which gives the judge the chance to see exactly what happened from the other side as well. So there it is, it's official. And I've got Philip Robinson with me now, which was quite a... Did you think you'd won?
I thought I'd either won or a dead heat.
Yes.
Didn't think I'd got beat.
You didn't think you got beat?
No, no.
It was
very, very close.
Tell you what, Lester, I mean, he's a devilishly difficult man to catch, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. I was hoping that Pat was going to, like, choke me there, but Pat just died the last 20 strides, and I was left there trying to get him on my own, but we got there in the end.
Philip, what about Lester? I mean, everybody's cheering him and everything like that. Incredible, a 58-year-old. I mean, you're a top boy, but how difficult to come back and do that?
Well, you know, I think he's the only man that can do it at his age, and people have grown to expect it from him. Yeah. You know, that's the thing, but I think it's great and it's good for racing. Long may he carry on, you know.
And so say all of us, and congratulations on winning. That was a smashing filly, that.
She's lovely.
Isn't she?
Thank you.
Thank you, Philip.
Thank you.
So that's the news. We'll take a break.
Sark in the Channel Islands.